All right, guys. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. The T5 swap is done. T5 is out. Got the car put back together. Cleaned up a set of NGK plugs I had over here to get it running again. Double checked the timing this morning. Got it up to temp. Got my new hat from Paul de Fox. So that's nice. I wore that over the holiday weekend. Not working on the car. I don't want to mess it up, but I will wear it to the track. But anyway, the TKO 600 is in. All up in place here. I got the car all put back together this morning and fired it up. Let it get up to temperature and just burn off the last little bit of the transmission fluid. The only issue I had getting the transmission in was I had to jack up the transmission a little bit off the mount and put a washer under there because the drive shaft was almost hitting it was hitting my drive shaft loop, but I do have, the rear end is all the way down, so I put two little washers underneath the transmission mount and it clears. Matter of fact, I had it up in gear, running up on these jack stands with the rear end all the way down. So once I let off the jack stands, this will come up and there'll even be more clearance here. But there's about a 16th or 18th of an inch now with the suspension fully unloaded. So that should be fine. But we can also, I could also put a couple washers and drop the loop down a little bit. So not a big deal, but just one thing, it did prevent the yoke going in because it wasn't at the right angle. So once I jacked up the transmission a little bit, then the yoke slid right in and we bolted it all back up. So anyway, the TKO 600 is in. So we're all done in here. I did have to take the whole shifter off the top because the back of this, it's got the Pro 5.0 shifter. It's a lot bigger than the Steeda Triax as far as the base, so it was hitting right on the edge of the cutout. So I just took the shifter off and got this up. And the one good thing with the TKO transmissions is they're pretty flat on the bottom, and I'll show you the difference. But right here, if you're working with this and to put a jack under here, it sits pretty level where a T5 is angled is a V, and it kind of wants to rock all around if you're just using a jack and doing it by yourself. But otherwise, here you can see the shifter clears okay. It's not hitting the floorboards anywhere, even though it is bigger on the top. But we got it all up in there and good to go. So again, I did run it up on these jack stands and just shifted through the gears real quick, and it seems like it's a shorter throw than the T5 even with this. But as you can see here, if you see how the T5, you put the jack under here and it wants to wobble when you're trying to jack it up into place. But anyway, T5 is out, so that is all done. Car's all back together. We're pretty much ready for the track. I mean, I'll give everything a once over. Nut and bolt everything. One thing I did do different this time is I noticed a couple times ago I went to the track and my bottom starter bolt had come out. So I ordered the ARP bolts and then for the starter, and then just the bottom one seems like it wants to back out. So of course I replaced it with a longer bolt, but I also made sure I put lock washers and Loctite on those. So anyway, that's that. I don't know if we'll mess with the nitrous this time out. Let's see if we can get in the 10s just with being able to power shift with the TKO. But anyway, that's the update. I don't know if the weather's going to hold off. It might rain this Saturday, but if it doesn't, we'll be ready for the track. If it does, test and tune will be a week after that, or maybe 2 weeks, I think, December 17th. But nonetheless, if we can make it this Saturday and the rain holds off, we'll be going. And anyway, here's that Paul de Fox hat that showed up just fine. Good quality hat. If you guys are fans of the channel there, they're good people. Paul's got pretty awesome cars. It's his son gets sun drag races, and whole family's into it. So anyway, check out their channel if you don't already. Paul DeFox, one of our friends up in Toronto area. All right, guys, have a good night.